Hey, how doing? This is Preacher Man R&B, and this is another Gotham Reviews Mondays. This week is Season 1, Episode 5. What happened on this week's episode is we get introduced to this drug named Viper, and this is the pre-version of Venom. And what Venom is in the comics, it is the stuff that makes Bane so powerful. So this is the kind of the steroid type drug that Bane takes to be able to have his super strength. And there's this guy that made it, and when he made it, he was trying to tell Wayne Enterprises not to use it because it's this such bad side effect that it kills people who ever take it. And whenever they take it, it sucks up all the calcium out of their bones, and at a certain amount of time, their bones collapse and they suffocate and they die. And what happens is this guy that made this drug, Viper, gives it to this homeless guy that's playing his guitar on the street. And this guy takes the drug and then goes to a convenience store and starts drinking all this milk because he's been lost the calcium in his bones and he's trying to build it back up. And when this happens, he attacks the guy, breaks his back like it's a twig, and then rips out the ATM out of the wall and runs and carries it off. And Jim Gordon and Bullock at this time is getting a hamburger, and when they're getting a hamburger, Catwoman's about to pickpocket this guy, and Jim Gordon yells after her, and she gets caught, and then she runs away. Well, after this happens, Jim Gordon and Bullock run up to the store after it just got robbed by this guy that took the Viper, and the clerk tells them what happens, and they go after this guy. And when they go after this guy, he picks up the ATM, and as soon as he does this, his bones deteriorate and the ATM falls on him and he dies. Well, after this, the guy who made Viper is giving it to every homeless person he sees. He gives it to prostitutes, homeless people, anybody that's on the streets, he gives it to. And all these people are taking this drug. And the GCPD's overrun in the jailhouse with all these people. And there's this woman that throws a cop through the window, and she dies, her bones deteriorate, and she winds up dying. And Riddler's fascinated about this because it's a new drug, and that he's the first one to be able to analyze it because he's a forensic scientist before it becomes a Riddler. And he's just decided he's able to go over this drug and figure out what it's about. And after this, the guy who made Viper goes to a Wayne Board gathering where Bruce Wayne's talking to one of the managers of Wayne Enterprises, and this guy sets up the air vents to blast out this Viper, and Alfred gets Bruce out of there before it could get to Bruce, and Bullock gets everybody out of there, and Jim Gordon shoots the Viper tank, and it blows up into this guy's face, and he inhales it and starts to get effects of the drug, and he jumps off the building and he dies. They don't show his body afterwards, but it emphasizes that he died on top of that building after he jumped. And what's happening with Penguin, Penguin tells Don Maroney who he is, and Don Maroney gets Jim Gordon and takes him to his parlor and tells Jim to tell him a story, and if it's not the same story Oswald told Maroney, if he can't figure out who's lying, both of them's going to die. So Jim tells him what happens, and their stories add up, and Don Maroney starts trusting Penguin, and Penguin knows a guy that works in the casino with Falcone's casino, and it's a janitor, and that he's able to get them into the casino so they could steal from Falcone. And that's really the end of the episode. My questions for y'all is, what do y'all think is going to happen with Viper? As of right now, they ain't followed up on this storyline in Season 2. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, I don't know. But what are y'all's thoughts? What do y'all think is going to happen? As always, Preacher Man R&B signing out. Guys, Jesus is awesome. See y'all next time.